right now?
I'm in Argentina, Cordoba.
Oh, you're in Argentina. Beautiful. Now, is that where you're from? Is that where you're from?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Very cool.
Yes, I was born here.
A lot of history there. There's a lot of history in Argentina.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
And I'm looking forward to go to Hawaii. It's like one of my destinies that I'm projecting. Yes.
Oh, by all means, it's a beautiful place. It's incredible. Okay, let's see if this is working. Yeah, we're working. Okay, so we are live, but we're going to roll the show out in just a second. Yeah, this is going to be a great way to end the day. Our third broadcast of the day. All right, we got 17 people in the house. 18. Welcome, Ivania from down in Tasmania. Janie Hodges, Mary Cooper, Simone Bolt is here. Thank you, Simone, for introducing us to this beautiful man. Catherine McConnell, Valerie Peterman, Alinka Sandhu. Hola to you. All right, I'm going to share it to the network. These shows resonate with you, please share. We would appreciate it. And thank you for the continued love, support, contributions that allow us to keep doing this by the seat of our pants every day. But I think it's getting easier for all of us in a lot of different ways. Okay. All right, we got 27 in the house. John Crawley, how you doing? Leslie Latour, Maria Iverson's here. Cynthia Fishon, Fiona Morris, Jen Lynn, my dear friend from Long Island. Alicia Smith, Debrielle, Shannon Christine, Beth Buslash, and 4 or 5 people in the Zoom room. Leah Gore, hello. And who else is here? Kurt Stack and Michael Van Patten. So we got a special show with a beautiful brother by the name of Santiago Rafael from Argentina. My name's Todd Medina, Soul Speaks 5D, SoulogyOne Network. Welcome to the show. It's a conversation. It's not an interview. There's 2 people getting to know each other in front of the whole world. Welcome, Santiago.
Thank you, Todd. It's an honor to be here in Soulogy, and thanks to all the persons that are supporting the sense of how it's connecting from all over the world, dimensions and topics.
Yeah. So you're from Argentina, born and raised. And what is, and you look to be younger than me, which that's not too hard to do. But so, I mean, what's it like over there? I mean, are people talking about a collective awakening? Do you see evidence of it in the community there, in the streets, in the cities, the neighborhoods? I mean, is it something that people acknowledge? I mean, what's it like over there?
In this matter, I believe that it's a vibratory thing, beyond the places. Yeah. It's like how you vibrate, you will start finding that. So I lived in the same place and suddenly I start vibrating differently and make different decisions. Yeah. And you start finding things that already were here, but we could not see it before, So I think that now that this collective awakening is like happening, we are having more accesses to new places and connecting in different ways. So here I find beautiful persons that are doing conscious sound healings, Reiki, all the therapies, and also people that seems like from 30, 40 years ago or 100 years ago that, they are like co-living. It's like different dimensions sometimes co-living.
Yeah. And And what about you? I mean, were you born woke, awakened, or did you have anything? Right? What? Or did you go through? A lot of people go through some traumas and then wake up, dark nights of the soul, that type of thing. Did you go through an experience like that?
Yeah. Yes, that happened to me. First, I would say that I was born woke in a sense, because I see my pictures as a baby, and how they told me that I was younger, and I remember being really tuning to peace and serenity. So I was like, they're corrupted, you know.
Yeah.
Like they would take me to toy shops, and my grandmother used to take me to toy shops and tell me, what do you want, what do you want? It's like, look, all this toy you can have, and all the food, and I was just observing, kind of Buddha style. But then I got into all of that, like the video games, the toys, the food, and you start entering those direct access to the zombie apocalypse. And then I like was infected by the zombie apocalypse, and was like really asleep, like alcohol, like trying to go out 3-4 times a week if I could, like, and drink, and junk food like 4 or 5 times a week, and obesity, obesity, addictions to game food, alcohol, then smoking, and you're like start going that way. And what started pulling me out was once that I was like already with overweight, like lost and everything. I went to a hip hop jam, a hip hop party, like they were like it was cool at the moment, so I went and they were dancing, and suddenly I see like a movement that a dancer does, and I suddenly had my heard something that I was not listening if it wasn't for the movement he did. So that was like the first spark of, now that I know that it's synesthesia, like combining different senses. And I felt really attracted, like like a flies or bugs go to a light.
Yeah.
And I went, I need to learn what you do. And then I started entering the arts world, and was meeting people with special effects and inner work and creativity. So then I met a person that was a person who was doing therapies, and she opened my third eye like abruptly, and I was like 23 years old at the moment, and she do some therapy, it's like it was like that magnetism that she told me, you need to do this therapy. We did it, and from that moment on, it's like I started seeing all things inside. Like every time I close the eyes, like I see things like colors, different places that are like not from here, and suddenly I realized, wow, there's something else. And that was like the shift. And then I had to learn how to handle that. It was like really maddening, the like closing your eyes and suddenly watching beings or boom, dragons like coming like that just in a blink of an eye. And it was like really maddening, and I had to learn a lot of what is all of this, how do I handle it, like emotional intelligence, learning how to communicate, ontological communication. And then I started like more of a matter of survival. It was more a matter of survival. That's towards what I attribute the exponential growth I had in spirituality. It was like lucid or like I was walking in a really thin line in a moment. So all reality was compromised. So it's like more a matter of survival and understanding, or you fall.
Yeah.
So that was like how I started, like the ignite moment.
Did it make it hard to function in everyday life at times? I mean, did it make it hard to go into this world where it seemed like you were in a different one? Or did you start to find people like you right away?
Yeah. No, it was like being misunderstood or not understood directly. Like it was not easy, but I luckily could handle many things. Like I already was like really resourceful. So it was like more disentangling from things. I mean, resourceful on intellect. I would like understand how things work and then deactivate them for being able to go and do the inner work. But in a moment, like for the close ones, like family, like for example, I started changing my nutrition habits. I would pray, like bless the water, and they would say, "What are you doing?" Like that was disruptive. So that was the more complicated thing.
Yeah.
And also landing, for example, like yes, coming back to the 3D was like the struggle of okay, we need to pay the banks, you know, like everything you want, but we need to pay the bills and all that stuff. So
yeah,
I would luckily sort that quickly because of this resourcefulness I am saying. But either way, the most disruptive thing was with the family, girlfriend. Like they would witness this transformation, and it's like you stop being you. So it's like the one you knew is now dead. So it's like traumatic for everyone.
Yeah. And yeah. Now, how long ago was that? 15 years ago? 10 years ago? What?
The disruption, 2013.
2013. Okay.
6 years.
6 years. And
2013, 6 years ago.
Now, has it gotten better, or have you gotten to the point where you're meeting other crazy people like you?
It's like for survival. That's like the survival. Like meeting the wonderful persons in Mind Valley was like really important.
Yeah.
Then all the tribe in New York and you know, it's like you start. I founded this company that is La Fam, that La Familia would be the soul family, reconnecting, and I realized that I needed that because I was feeling alone in this process. So I needed to build a beacon, or as we have here, the lighthouse, for the persons to look, orient, have an orientation. So yes, it's like a struggle finding peoples of same vibration until we understand that it's like they are coming as well.
So, and you're an artist too, right? Are you a musician? Did I see where you were? Yeah. You were in. Okay. And what kind of art? What kind of creative expressions are you involved with?
Well, I really consider the life as I'm considered an artist of life. You know, after this breakthrough, my grandmother, that is the most spiritual of my ancestors, living ancestors, she gave me the 4 agreements, and that in there is embedded the philosophy of artists of life.
Yeah.
So I took it, and I realized that even though I was dancer, I was musician, I was like um, stand-up comedian. In a moment, I went here and then tournaments, and uh, I liked the concept that we are performing in our avatar.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like I consider then manifestation, like the canvas of our reality, as a piece of art. So I like to subtilize the creative expression to that, to the livelihood, environment, the crafts around. So yes, I do music, I do sound therapies, I do dancing, and in the healings, for example, the healing vortex, I do the chants while we dance, and it's a mix right now.
Yeah.
You know?
And have you had I mean, we all have the universe speaking to us in some way or another. And for many people, there's different faces of the universe that might carry the message, such as Jesus or Saint Germain or Yemanja or whoever. Are there certain divine essences or galactic energies that communicate with you?
Yeah. Yes. I usually when I initiated in the Akashic Records, that got more clear, like committing to certain guides and codes. I think that in a theological level, that's I think what we are talking now is like theology. Like what kind of entities we are talking with. I found out that virtues, like when I talk to really high beings, they don't have names.
That's
And they
right.
don't like they don't see useful giving names, or we don't have the vowels to pronounce them. They are more like from the Elohims above, they are like some sounds like that even as names.
Yeah.
Things like the arrival that we wouldn't understand,
Yeah. It's not important.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
There, it's like more virtues. I am committed to, like, that makes me navigate better through my channelings. Is commitment to truth, and the highest loving truth that's in our prayer. So whenever like appears God itself, whatever entity, you just have that card on them. Like
Yeah.
3 weeks ago, appeared in a dream. Lucifer appeared to me in a dream, like explicitly, and I was able to even know how are the rules, because it was trying to recruit. There are many persons that if they talk directly to an entity and just give for granted like that and don't commit to virtue, it's like you have that card of, is this true? It's like you can have that, and that's like universal laws of, oh, this is not the rules. It's like, I don't owe you anything. It's like I am like in constant conversation with many of these entities that come and go, and also it's like feedback. It's like a didactic, educational feedback we are having. We are also educating gods in a sense.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's my answer to the entities. It's like, yes, I work with the Pleiadians, with Arturians, and that's kind of wide, because Pleiadians, there are 7 stars.
Yeah. No, it's just interesting the different experiences people have. Now, do you have a calling, or do you have a certain mission that you feel like you're on, or a calling, or a passion, or is it life in general?
Right now, the calling I'm feeling the most, that I know that's like one of my main missions, is this of the reconnecting the soul family and bringing this lineage. There's like I realized that there's this golden line that the Taoist talks about. I realized that this lineage, when you can keep up the tree, like humanity as an evolving tree, and you can make it grow healthy. It's like that connection of healthy relationships, healthy tribe codes of honorability in the practices, for us to having a proper alignment and also be a healthy reference for the rest of society. That's like led me to work more in the pragmatic side, to coaching politicians, judges, businessmen in the culture and inside themselves. So right now it's like this reconnection of the family into a healthy tree, and also giving a proper moral alignment. That's like really complicated, and I think that's like one of the main missions, that it's not only from this planet, the moral alignment.
Right.
So
universal correction. That's how I feel.
mm-hmm.
I feel like we're not just correcting ourselves, the earth, but the entire universe, dimensions, timelines. They're all being corrected based on what we do.
And about you, what's your mission and what you are committed to?
I think first and foremost, divine conscious union, bringing the frequency of divine conscious union to the party. And second would be Soulogy, to create a platform with multiple channels available with ease, like on a handheld app, for all the voices that have never been heard, or the voices innocent were never heard. Primarily the mother, the mother, the voice of the mother in all of us, which has been suppressed, and we all know that. What do you think about people talk about the event? They talk about Nibiru and 3 days of darkness, and that we're going to wake up one day and we're all going to be awake. And what do you think about those kind of theories? I'm just curious.
Yes, I think that we are feeding with the projections. So the best, the phenomenons, like there's like this line of, like I have seen, like I live what would be the Sedona of Argentina. I live like 2 hours from there, and there's a line of phenomenologists, like they're like waiting for something external to happen to like that's like a kind of a wishing. And I go more to the thing of be prepared. Like the best thing, even whatever happens like in the future, is be prepared and alignment, in alignment. So you won't live in the future with all the expectations that may happen, an external event. So I really believe in personal empowerment and tuning into okay, the information that needs to come is filtered with the relevance. That's what I give in the intuition talk. Like have filters of relevance, and for that you need to build up a structure of priorities. So if that information is coming to you and you are able to do something about it, okay, do something about it with your alignment. But so far, I understood that all these things are plainly symbolical, even though the planets are real and all that stuff. But it's like information we cannot process. It's like, oh, the moon just shifted to whatever. It's like the information the most pure information you can have is the body and the connection with your soul. That will synthesize it and make your life happier.
Yeah. Plus, it's disempowering to be waiting on anything. It's disempowering to think that it makes us insignificant. We've been small long enough. Why would we be waiting on anything? Every time I see the moon, I always look right at it and say, you know what? I'm integrated with you. You're not greater than me or lesser than me. I mean, we're sovereign beings. We're creators. People talk about programming. I don't know. To me, 99.99% of the programming comes from our own, our own, what we give our power over to. Somebody says the sky's falling, then somebody else says the sky's falling, then half the world says the sky's falling. That's not in my universe. I'm not in that universe. my sky's not falling. Yeah, I agree with you.
That's right. That's why I have one influence that is one mentor, Jose Luis Parise, and we all talk about the initiatic cultures and how the own reality, like the own universe that you are creating is like that. It's like you're putting the rules of your kingdom, like personal kingdom.
Yeah.
So that's like really important because it's like the sphere in which you will travel through the multiverse.
Yeah, that's right. And your rules apply everywhere. What are your thoughts on multidimensionality? Do you communicate with other aspects of yourself, or is everything another aspect of you anyway? You know what I mean? I mean, what are your thoughts on that? Or is it even important? I mean, or is it?
I work daily with that.
Yeah.
I work daily with that because I not only open my records, I open Akashic Records for other persons. So they come multiple versions in the multiple dimensions, and my main work lately has been doing the integration of the multiple dimensions that are trying to communicate in between among them, and I am like a reconnector of those. So it's like I realized that constant multi dimensions of the being is essential for downloading the gifts and the flow of your being.
Yeah.
Like downloading the wisdom of the future, the wisdom of past lives, the wisdom of another races that you were, that they are coming from whatever other time dimension, and they're helping you in the now. So it's like if we go to the singularity of the now moment, it's like useful to open up the conversation, the spectrum for the conversation between our dimensions. So that's a daily navigation, when yes.
And how important is the human aspect?
What does human mean?
I mean, we're conscious here. We're conscious here. We're asleep, are getting memories back of all these multidimensional aspects, but we're always conscious as a human. There's got to be some relevance to that. There's got to be some significance to that, importance. We're not just human, I guess, is what I'm saying. do you think that we will see more and more people exercising what the humans might call supernatural abilities as days go on? Do you think we'll see more people telekinesis, bilocation, teleportation, what we would consider supernatural from our old set of eyes?
Yes. Yes. I mean, like, in this sense, we are going to remember how's done that, because we are like a kindergarten.
Yeah.
Of, you know, there's this theory of this is a kindergarten planet, and it's like kind of what we are going towards. Like, we are. I really believe, because it's kind of more a remembrance that those skills, and I also see it, the transformations in myself. Like, we are just getting started, and there are like many things of the superpowers. Everything's super because it's just a level that seems super from the current state, but that
well, yeah, that's true. It is like a kindergarten, but you know, like, it seems like the universe has a very you know, the yin yang paradoxical way of things going on. So what's up is down. And we could very well be in kindergarten, but at the same time, we could be at the PhD level. You know, I mean, it's you know, blessings are burdens and burdens are blessings. Sometimes what we think is good is not, and vice versa. Or sometimes what we think is small is large. Yeah. Now, tell me about your work with the Akashic. Can you just kind of give me a general idea of what you do, or how you do it, even?
I am master in Akashic Records, so I open records for myself to align. That's like really useful. The first level of the Akashic Records in our lineage is alignment, establishing a communication with your own guides, masters, and loved ones that are there, and also the parts of you. It's like that communication that helps you, like, with a higher council that can see you from above the labyrinth of the ego that we got into. So that's like a really useful, has been really useful for me, for my decisions, for my flow, for my human development, and also the spiritual. And I also open records for other persons that are correspondents. One of the codes of vulnerability that we have that since sometimes they say, oh yes, I want to do a reading. No, it's first it's like, I should ask if this corresponds. That's one of the main things that I realized that polishes a lot the work. It's not just because you pay me beforehand. It's no. Wait, I just need to ask if this corresponds, because if not, we are generating a lot of karma.
Yeah.
So that's one of the codes which I work with. When it happens, it makes like so much cracks, like in the life of the persons. Like, I have like many anecdotes that are really fulfilling. The alignment of showing persons things that they already knew, that they reminded, or things that they needed to hear to really be on the divine plan again. It's like brings so much clarity and peace that is sustainable. It's like I realized that everything else that I did before, it was like fixes, but this is like this is the map, and you know where you're going, you know, like the homework. So that's what I do with the records. I download the main message that needs to come to the person. Then the person brings up the questions that they feel asking, that will bring the most clarity to them. And then they are given tools to work on the actual process. So that's the framework of the sessions of opening the records. And then you have the map. Now the tools are some compass, so you can go and lead yourself in this new quest. And in this sense, life is way more fun, like having quest in this aspect. So that's what I do with records, mate.
So you show them the way, and then they take it from there. You show them how to do it, or you show them the way. You open the door, and then empower them to be their own facilitator, their own guide from that point forward. Is that right?
Yes, and it's also not me. It's like I understand this thing of the channeling. Oh, it's not me. No, yes, it's through me.
Yeah.
But it's their guide. So it's things that are really, really fun. Like in this practice, like when you channel, it's like you're not reading from the field. It's like the channeling and the reading, the psychic reading, are two different things. It's like that's what I train in the initiations. It's like I channel what comes, and then I utilize my other centers to provide it. But the psychic is reading from the psyche. It's like two different chakras. It's one is the crown, and another the. So I am not giving, like, there's like a lot of ego work. All the persons that I initiate is like giving a lot of tools to work on the ego, because it feels like I know how to guide. It's like you're just an enabler. You're just a facilitator of the message. So I just do my best to get the message in the most loyal and high quality that I can. That's my main work. But it's like using the resources that my avatar has. That's training my avatar to provide the resources is the main work.
And do you ever get triggered? Do the energies ever get to you? And are they ever overwhelming to you? And what do you do when that happens? For you personally, what do you do?
Totally. There's a lot of training in energetic hygiene. Also, the emotional intelligence is like a really important part. Like, for example, when I'm overwhelmed, I just know that I need like to go in. Like, for example, cut out many sources of information overload, sleep well, rest well, go with my dog, remember what was this unconditional love from animals, also unload with the feet on the grass, the sun gazing, those things that keep your boat floating. And also when there's like a hard strike, like I had one in New York lately, there was like, we were opening records because I also go doing planetary activations, and we are opening up records of places and also establishing communications with the parts or the chakras of Earth. So we are like, sometimes it's a huge load. So I get scolded in a sense, and that hurts me in an individual level. I was like this weekend in what we call here the intraterrestrial Congress. Here's like an intraterrestrial city, and I go and offer my job, and I was kind of from my human vessel. I was like looking for approval, you know, that things keep working, you know, in like my, oh, tell me that I'm doing well and all that stuff, you know, like, and they told me, okay, what you brought, and it was like tough, you know, like opening up to the Senate of these higher beings, and they're telling you, what have you brought? And that hit me hard, because it was like, from the mind, it's like, oh, I was thinking that I was doing so well, but it hurt me, you know, like, and then I like give my time to process, like, okay, this is expected of me, like this kind of work is expected of me. So
Yeah.
you know, this self-coaching myself, like to keep up for the mind, also the like, okay, I was hungry of approval of these higher beings. So it's like I decode this situation, and also accept my humanity and say, okay, like virtue of humility. So that keeps me in alignment. It's like the virtues I committed to, humility,
Yeah.
and I put my bar high with one virtue of dignity. So
Yeah.
if I want to be at a high level, there will be this stuff. Noticing that this my self process, humility, energetic hygiene, all these things in the pack.
And there's a lot of people that are coming out now that are coming out saying I've woken up. I have these things happening to me. I've had, you know, the things that many of us experienced in the past, but, you know, I've had ET visitation, or I've had family members that have transitioned come talk to me, or other entities. What would you tell someone who is just waking up now looking for answers? What would you tell them besides what you just said? Because, you know, they think they're crazy just like we thought we were.
Yes, totally. The patience, you know, I was thinking it just yesterday, the training of the paranoia. You know the concept paranoia?
Yeah.
Like getting into knowing that everything, the universe is in your favor, like sinking into that concept, and yes, the breathing, the meditation, that brings a lot of stability. So state management will help a lot. That is really pragmatic. Like,
Yeah.
State management will help you a lot to handle whatever comes to you. So if you just focus on that and not trying to understand what's happening, like,
Yeah.
you will save yourself a lot of suffering and blockages, like trying to understand with the mind. It's like go back to from where you are being. That's state management. So that I found that if I had this before, it would be really useful for me, like,
Right.
for not being triggered with things like when you start being awakened and seeing colors and auras and ET experiences, to not freak out the environment, like,
Yeah.
to not freak out the environment, because it gets like a paranoia loop.
Yeah.
And that affects. So just keep your boat together, like.
Keep your
That's
shift.
some good advice.
Keep your shift together. Don't lose your shift.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So now, do you work with clients online?
Yeah. Clients are online mainly. We do the openings and the initiations in Akashic Records. The imprints of the symbols and the training is in person.
And how can people find you? Because I'm sure there's going to be people on the live and the replay that are going to want to check you out, that resonate with you, and maybe participate in one of your sessions. How do people find you? How do they get in touch with you?
Well, my main via of contact is like Facebook or the email that is from La Fam, contact@lafam.org, and also the page that it was in Spanish until this year, so I'm uploaded it in English, lafam.org, LAFAM.org.
Okay.
Lafam.org is like from there it's like the life artist formation associated in meditation. So there you can see to the initiations, the trainings, or even the Akashic Records openings.
Yeah. Perfect. Perfect. And so they can also contact you on Facebook Messenger. Is that right?
Yes. In Facebook, I'm Santiago Rafael. This is my main Facebook, and I contact with Messenger, and then if it's allowed by the correspondence, when we check with the records, we keep going with the process.
Beautiful. That's beautiful. Yeah. So everybody on the live, on the replay, this is the year of co-creation and collaboration, sovereignty and expansion. So let's support our brother Santiago. If it resonates with you, it sounds like a very powerful and somewhat unique type of session. So LaFam, LAFAM.org, or Santiago Rafael on Facebook. And if you have trouble and you want to get in touch with them, just contact me and we'll find a way to put you together. So thank you.
Thank you, Tom.
Yeah. Thank you for
Thank you for all this beautiful work we're doing. Yes.
Yeah. And thank you for sharing space with us today and honoring us with your presence. We'll have to do it again sometime. Yeah.
Yes, of course. There's like a wide variety of topics we can touch. I know that you have a great path there. You know, it seems embodied. It's an honor to have these conversations, and I like this purpose and this purpose you have. So an honor whenever you feel inviting me, I'm here.
Very good. Very good. Vaya con Dios. And all blessings to you and yours. Goodbye, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for watching.